It's in the scoop. Let's just pour it on. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's just a stupid silver 1 ounce round. I really get tired of digging these things up. I'd rather find pull tabs. So if you own a Monster, you have had this problem where you set it down to run your scoop over the coil and it falls over so easily. And that's for 2 reasons. One reason is on the arm support, this part is extremely thin. The other reason is the box is top heavy. It's tall, which makes it top heavy. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to fix that. So here's what I am going to show you how to build today. A stabilizer. And your Monster won't fall over anymore. So let's head back to the house. I'm going to show you what you need and how to put it together. Alright, so here are the stands that I'm going to show you how to build. You have the standard stand, like what I just had out at the park. You have the extended stand. And you have the armrest stand. And the way I'm going to have to do this video is in 3 parts. We'll start with the standard stand. Number 2, part 2, will be the extended stand. Part 3 will be the armrest stand. And I will add a part 4 giving the details of the giveaway of these stands. So let's get started and I'll show you how I make the standard stand. Alright, I also want to add that this is not my original idea. I got this idea from a friend of mine who owns a Monster, and he had what I call the armrest stand attached to his Monster. And I was asking him about it because I thought, what a great idea. And he said that he bought it from a local couple in town that makes them, sells them for $5. Well, this doesn't cost $5 to make, so they're making a bit of a profit, which is good. But I got thinking about it, and I came up with these other 2 designs. I came up with what I call the standard stand, which I prefer because it just slides right on to the back of the shaft of the Monster. And then I thought, well, if that doesn't work, because when you're swinging it might hit you in the back a little bit or get in the way, so I came up with the idea of adding an extension, what I call the extended stand. So let's start by showing you the tools that you'll need. Okay, first of all, you're going to need something to put your pipe in, unless you can hold it and cut it if you have one of the PVC cutting tools. What I use is just a small saw. A measuring tape. The measuring tape is not that important because this doesn't have to be exact. You can actually do it without a measuring tape. Most of the ones I didn't have a measuring tape, but for the sake of this video I will be measuring out the pieces so you can make one identical to this. Although it doesn't matter if the arms here are a little longer or if this is a little bit longer. You can customize this. So next what you're going to need is a drill bit. One of these type drill bits is perfect. This one happens to be 7/8 and it works perfectly for the end of the Monster. And then you're going to need something, either a file, some sandpaper, to clean off the end of the pipes. As you cut them, they get little burrs on them. I just used the drill, which I'll show in the video. And then another optional item is spray paint. Now, if you're going to use spray paint, you have to use black. If you use another color, it renders the Monster useless. I know a lot of women would love to paint theirs pink, but your Monster will never work again. So obviously the paint thing is optional. So now let's talk about what you need for the PVC. You need to get, I think this was a 4-foot section, 3 or 4 foot section, which is more than enough. of this straight PVC pipe. This is 1/2 inch. And then you're going to need 2 of these elbows. Also have, everything is 1/2 inch. You're going to need one of these T's. And next you're going to need one of these fittings that is used to connect 2 pieces of pipe together. And lastly, what you're going to need are 2 1/2 inch end caps. These are the rounded ones on the end. You could use the flat, doesn't matter. So there we have all the parts needed to make this stand. Okay, first what I like to do is cut the little piece that goes in between the elbow and the T. And we're going to cut this to 1 1/4 inch. I'm also not going to show the cutting of all these pieces, but I will show the cutting of this one. So we're going to need to deburr this, because when you cut this, it gets the little pieces in there, and we just need to clean that up. You can use a knife, a file, whatever. I use the drill bit here. Works pretty well. Make sure your skin's far enough away from the edge of that, because if this bites you, it hurts. Not that I would know. Not that I would ever have made that mistake before. And that's good enough. Alright, so next we need to cut the legs. The legs are approximately 3 1/4 inches. The last thing that needs to be modified is this T. Now on the T, this is the part that slides onto the shaft of the monster, and we just need to widen that out a little bit. On other detectors, if you're going to try this, check to see if it needs to be widened out, because on my AT Gold it does not. It actually makes it way too big. Just a stock T works best, and I even then have to put a little electrical tape on there to tighten it up. And the best way that I've found doing this is just holding it in your hand and drilling it out. If you put it in the vise, it tends to open it up too much, because when you're doing it with your hand it moves a little bit, and it's a little more forgiving than in the vise. Alright, so I have my drill bit ready, and all I'm going to do is try to center this best I can, and I'm going to drill in. Inside here is a lip that you can see right there at the bottom, toward the bottom here, right about where my pinky is, and that is what stops the pipe when you're putting it in there. That is the point we want to drill to and no further. And take this slow, and I would pick up a couple of these if you're attempting this, because I've messed quite a few up, hence why I have so many extra parts. But I think I've got it down now. So I'd like to start the drill first and push the T into the drill. Alright, and I think that's pretty much it. It might need a little touch-up work with a file or the sander to the Dremel. So let's check it out and see. Perfect. A little bit of resistance. I like mine to have a little resistance on it, because that way you can put your monster at a slightly different angle if you're on a hill or if it's very rocky ground. So we have our T drilled out to 7/8 inch, and then all we need is our 2 end caps. So let's go ahead and put this together. And so when I'm putting these together, I don't glue anything. You can glue it if you want. I don't. It's really unnecessary. But so you take your 2 little pieces here, put them on the T. You can press or pound them in. And you take your elbow, slide those on. And if you're gonna paint yours, I suggest you get it all assembled before painting. It makes it much easier. And then we're gonna take the legs here, Put those in. And then the end caps. And we're done with the standard stand. Let's see how it fits on the old Monster. Perfect. Now see, I can rotate the Monster a little bit. And it stays pretty good. Quick comment on the standard stand. If you don't like the stand moving, I don't mind it. Or if you're worried about it coming off and getting lost, you can just use some tape and you can just tape the stand to the shaft and it's all good. So one issue that you may have with the standard stand is when you go to remove it, this little end plug, depending on how tight this is in here that you made, might get stuck inside. Now the first thing I would do to try to get it back in here, fit it back in and then quickly yank it off. Okay, and it'll stay on there most of the time. If it doesn't and it's stuck in there good, the other thing I found to do is remove one of the arms. So it's like this. Take an Allen wrench or another tool, piece of metal, whatever, bent roughly at a 90-degree angle. Stick it inside there, and out she falls and gets lost in the rocks behind me. So that's what you do if that end cap gets stuck. Well, alright everyone, that is the end of part 1, making the standard stand. I will put the other part 2 and part 3 up just as soon as I can. I'm not going to wait to put those up. I'll put them up as soon as I can. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment and feel free to share this video if you think it'll help somebody that has a metal detector that will fit one of these stands. And I will see you here shortly.